Good morning, everybody. This is Lata from IICP IITM Center, Pune. I will just give a brief introduction about World Environment Day. World Environment Day was established by United Nations in 1972. The purpose is to raise awareness and encourage actions for the protection of the environment. It was led by United Nations Environment Program, UNEP. Each year has a different host country and theme, usually announced by UNEP a few months in advance. World Environment Day 2025 will be observed on Thursday, June 5th, 2025. The central theme for 2025 is Beat Plastic Pollution, focusing on eliminating plastic pollution globally. This initiative aligns with the broader goals of achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, including the climate action, sustainable production, consumption, protection of marine ecosystem, and biodiversity conservation. Plastic pollution permeates every corner of the planet, even in our bodies, in the form of microplastics. World Environment Day 2025 calls for collective action to tackle plastic pollution. This year's World Environmental Day starts exactly 2 months before the countries meet again to continue negotiating a global treaty to end plastic pollution. The Republic of Korea will host global celebrations for Environmental Day 2025. The 2025 celebrations will be held in Jeju province, which is set an ambitious goal to eliminate plastic pollution by 2040. Jeju is notable for its stringent waste separation policies and innovative recycling initiatives such as disposable cup deposit system. World Environment Day 2025 coincides with the ongoing international efforts to develop legally binding treaty to end plastic pollution. The Republic of Korea hosted fifth session of negotiation for this treaty in November 2024. The observance of World Environment Day serves as a platform to galvanize public and political support for these crucial environmental initiatives. Individuals, communities, and organizations are encouraged to participate in the Beat Plastic Pollution campaign by organizing or joining local cleanup events, reducing single-use plastic consumption, advocating for sustainable alternatives and policies, educating others about the impacts of plastic pollution. By drawing inspiration from nature and showcasing real-world solutions, the campaign will encourage individuals, organizations, industries, and governments to adopt sustainable practices that drive the systematic change. According to my personal view, World Environmental Day should not be a day one, but it should be throughout the year. Thank you all for your patient listening. So, Ritik, to you.
हाँ भाई कभी आने वाला है क्या आने वाला है आज मत
Thank you. Thank you. May I start?
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Okay, first of all, I thank, good morning. I thank IITM for inviting me to this particular very important occasion. And World Environment Day is a significant event, and this particular topic also is a very, very significant. This is world over. This particular subject is discussed uh, recently, not recently, past several years, but in the this 2000, after 2000, it has become more important. So I will try to discuss some things, but as Madam Lota has already indicated, various countries, various various consultation programs are going on the subject of plastic. In the first 2018, when this was conducted in hosted by India, at that time it was the plastic. It was termed as plastic, avoiding the plastic. But now we are UN body have introduced the plastic pollution part of it. Okay, let me start with my uh, mm, presentation. Okay, the topic is ending plastic pollution globally. This is the topic for this 2025 World Environment theme. And I put the line through responsible actions that we have added, and this awareness program on the World Environment Day at national level webinar organized by Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, Pune, and ICPE is taking this awareness session. Sorry. Okay. So, okay, this about ICP, the Indian Center for Plastics in the Environment, is a national body set up on 27th January 1999 on the recommendation of a task force constituted by the Ministry of Environment and Forests. At that time, the environment was not, it was environment and forest. Climate change was not added at that time. And with an objective to handle environmental, social, and technical issues related to plastics in the environment. So about the topic, let me start the topic. The all man-made materials. First comment is all man-made materials have man-made, especially synthetic materials, have an impact on the environment. The issue is not just the plastic, it is how we use it with. The most sustainable product being the reusable product. The statement is the reusable reusable products are more sustainable. That has been commented. Let us find out what is plastic pollution. And we'll give discuss some of the traits. Why plastics? Why plastics? The plastics consume least energy compared to alternatives for similar applications. What are the alternative materials wise? Aluminum, steel, glass, paper. And the figures we have given to what is the overall energy requirement for conversion per kg conversion of the material. So plastic here consume the least energy, and whatever process consume least energy, less energy, these are considered as a more sustainable and environment friendly. This is one point. The another point, with example, the milk. This is this particular example. Everybody will understand the packaging of milk. We use India is the largest producer of milk in the world, and partly it has been possible due to this packaging medium. The plastic pouch we use, the energy consumption in gigajoule for manufacturing of packaging of raw materials, packaging and transportation of milk and recycling of packaging material consume least, and there is a saving of 86% energy compared to glass bottle. And moreover, the plastics, the energy recovery possibility also is there in case of plastics. A particular figure of 20 gigajoule has been referred to, and this study has been conducted by IIT Delhi. And in case of glass, we don't retrieve any energy. And another example is the packaging of atta in conversion in India, in jute packaging vis-a-vis plastic packaging. They are also the saving there. We save 81% energy, and energy recovery with plastics waste is also a definite figure. Substantial quantum is there, 35 gigajoule. So the comparison holds good for similar applications by the similar materials. And the emissions in the atta packaging case, the emissions we observe, this is a part of a larger LCA study which is available in our website. The carbon dioxide, NOx emission in case of atta packaging is quite substantially higher compared to the jute, compared to plastic. For jute packaging, it is more than 6,000 units, and compared to 760 in case of plastic bags. And in NOx also, there is a more than 10-12 times NOx is emitted by using jute. And this is the production of raw material. And during the एक minute.
Transportation.
Sorry. Okay. In case of transportation also, the emission of carbon dioxide and NOx is very high compared to plastic. So values are packaging for 1 lakh ton packaging of atta. So here we observe the when we use plastics, the environment is being saved, not polluted. And there is a this particular figure is taken from a 2006 study by McKinsey, but similar figures are available for a study for 2012 also and recent also. Among the top 10 greenhouse gas emission savings sectors, 4 are plastics in the world. See, in the insulation material, packaging, automobiles, and piping. These are the sectors where the greenhouse gas saving is top because of use of plastics. And then LCA studies of little detail on the only packaging material was done by Franklin Associates. There it was observed that weight of packaging is reduced by um, uh, by plastic. When we use plastic in compared to alternatives, weight of plastics is reduced by 348%, and cumulative energy consumption is reduced by 82%, and global warming potential is reduced by 75%. All these traits indicate that plastics are not polluting materials. So, I mean, then what is the paradox? This is a pictorial, a graphical representation, whatever figure I have stated in my previous slide. So these are all the traits indicate plastics save energy, save solid waste, save global warming. Then why it is called polluting? Although plastics reduce quantum of waste generation, save energy, and save greenhouse gas emission, why plastics are termed as polluting? Let's see what is the plastic resin virgin material production level and related issues. The world plastics consumption in 1950 was 1.5 million ton. 2018 it was 350 million ton. 2023 it was 400 million ton, and presently it has crossed 435 440 million ton. And world average of plastic per capita consumption is 32 kg, around 32 kg. And in case of India, so present figure is more than 20 million ton. In 1920 it was 19 million ton. Now it has crossed 20.8 million ton now. And India per capita consumption is in the range of 15 to 16 kg. So this is the per capita consumption. India is much less in compared to the world average. And production level, of course, India produces more, but per capita consumption is 15 kg. So that is the statistics. And current plastic production in the world is around 450. It is about 435 to 440 million ton. And in that plastic products, the about 30% is considered applications are very long term, exceeding 80 years, 90 years, exceeding even 100 years. Pipes, especially some sort of pipes, their life is 100 years. Cables life span is 60 years, 70 years. And some other material, medium term usage, these are about 20% consumption is there. So about 50% is for either long term or medium term. So they do not go to the waste stream in a short time. But about 50% go to the waste stream in a shorter time, within a span of few years' time. And while recycling is much less than 100 million ton per year. So coming to the environment, waste stream is around more than 200 million metric ton, and recycling is less than 50%, even much less than 50%. Can this continue? If it continue, then after few years, I have some chart. After the few years, the quantum of plastic waste will be very, very high. This is the reason why the plastic is considered as the polluting material, because we are not using up the waste we generated from this plastic material. So global scenario, if we summarize it, per day plastic production is more than 1 million ton, and per day recycling is only 150,000 metric tons. So you can imagine what will be the residual accumulation if we do not take care of the waste. Even consider, I mean, that I have already discussed this thing. Unmanaged plastic waste accumulation is a threat to the environment and ecology. That is the main reason. We have to, I mean, this has been reiterated by the world body, by the various countries for the last several years, more than 10 years. But actions have been taken, but we have to take much more. So this is in a graphical picture. See the accumulation in 2040 will be more than 420 million ton of plastic waste. If this happens, it is not good for the environment. Ecological balance will be lost in plastic. Of course, the another reason is in 1930 world population was in the range of 3 billion, and now world population is in the range of 8 billion. So that also has to be arrested. So I'm not going to opening other wings to that, but that is according to me, that is the number one reason we have to arrest the world population. Okay, coming back to the plastic, the reduction of plastic waste, which means reduction of the plastic, virgin plastic. That is the number one reason. For long time, the resin manufacturers were resisting to accept this particular phenomena, but now they have accepted it, and in India, this has become a rule also. I mean in the form of EPR. And collection of waste and recycling of plastic waste. So there is no actually rule has been imposed, but that also perhaps is required. Recycling of plastic waste, that has come into a rule. EPR rule encompasses this particular mandatory EPR rule imposed by Government of India. So some of the global leaders who have already committed and announced are Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, Nestle, Unilever, Procter & Gamble, Colgate-Palmolive, Avian. So they have given, declared some percentage. So this much percentage of Coca-Cola has declared 50% of the usage, their usage of plastic will be a mixed plastic. 50% of recycled plastic will be blended with virgin. And some of the, 100% perhaps cannot be done, but 50% of the requirement will be 50% recycled plastic. And PepsiCo also, they have committed 25%, Nestle 35%, Colgate-Palmolive 50%. So within a time frame, but when we add together, we find the total saving is 10 million ton. This is not enough. It has to be 10 times more. It has to be more than 100 million. Then only it will have a meaning. India recycles about 6 million ton compared to a figure by CPCB figure is 4.5 million ton, but industry figure is 6 million ton. Okay, in between we can take a figure of about 5 million ton to 6 million ton India recycle. I have one slide on that also. So some concerns: use of recycled plastics in food contact application will remain restricted across the countries, although PET has been already declared that recycled PET can be used for use of the content virgin, their carbonated product that has been already subject to passing some tests. FACI tests are there, BIS tests are there. And recycled PET has made some inroads in some countries with strict conditions, including India. India has already accepted it. Mechanical and chemical recycling contribute value, both economical and environmental. These are the two types of recycling. mechanical and chemical, and energy recovery, which is not termed, which is not come under recycling, but energy recovery also is a part of overall recycling material recovery system. So that contribute more to the environmental benefits. I will do a little more on this. See, we know cement kilns. Cement kilns run energy supplied by coal. Worldwide, the cement production is 4 billion tons, and for which 1 billion ton coal is used. Germany already substituted 60% of coal by use of plastic waste. So this is the figure. Germany takes care of whole European nation. But if we consider not 60%, if we consider world coal consumption, 25% is substituted by plastic waste, then we come to a figure of 250 million tons of plastic waste can be utilized in 1 year. This is a very big, I mean, there is a very good scope to get rid of plastic waste in an environment friendly way. ICPE was in India was the first to make this along with the CPCB a protocol in India, and it is now an established fact, and all the emissions, other alternative emissions and all that had been tested, and it is less than what is emitted if we use only coal. Meaning, if we substitute coal by plastics, the overall emissions will come down, toxic emissions will come down. So that also is beneficial for the environment. And all types of plastics can be used, including thermosetting plastics. All types of plastics can be. So this is a very good opportunity. In India, we have started, but there are some problems are there. Transportation of the plastic waste to the cement kiln site, because the cement kilns, there are about 100 cement kilns in the country, but mostly based on the central India, South India and North India. East India, there is very less, and clinkers facilities should be there. Most of the cement kilns are based on the clinker technology. So if it is taken care of, it has been already taken care of, but we have to reach that figure. Actual figure is, if India we substitute coal at the rate of even 10% to 15%, not 25%, then we can reach a figure of about 10 million ton recycled plastic. So that is not required, because there are other mechanical and chemical recycling processes also there. Whatever plastic get contaminated due to mixing, due to other not using it properly, lack of segregation. So those plastics can be taken care of. And in the road construction also, the bitumen road, not all road, bitumen road construction also, plastics find an application. In 1 lakh kilometer length road of 7 feet width can consume about 1 lakh metric ton of plastic waste. Select type.
Can I have a question here?
Hello.
Can I have a question here?
Yes, please.
We will take it in the end.
Yeah, no, but you can do it. But there is a welcome,
Okay.
welcome address. Yes.
Okay. No. When these are used as energy material, they need to be burned, right?
Which one?
Plastics need to be burned.
Plastic?
Burned, right?
Now, which plastic is banned?
See, when you are using plastic as a recycled material, they have to be, for the cement kilns, production, they have to be burned. What I
No, no,
understand,
no. See, these in the cement co-processing, any plastic waste can be used in the cement co-processing in the cement kiln. There is no restriction, and it is encouraged because it is the energy can be evolved from cement kiln by using the plastic waste which otherwise would go to the landfill or leave in the go to the sea. So these plastic waste, whatever cannot be go for mechanical recycling or chemical recycling, can be sent to the cement kiln. So there is
sir,
no restriction.
sir, my question is that, instead of coal is used as energy, right?
Yes,
Fuel, right?
yes,
So
yes.
that means plastic also will be used as fuel.
Plastic means used plastic waste.
Right. Plastic waste also will be used as fuel.
Whatever plastic we cannot perhaps recycle and reuse, and will lie, we be abandoned in the landfill or something, that can go to the
Yes,
landfill.
sir, I understand that.
Yes,
But
yes.
when you burn plastic, VOCs will generate, right?
No, I will come back here. Here
All right.
we have tested this emission not only by India. At that time, the dioxin and furan testing was not available in India. We have sent the sample to Netherlands, and all the as per OSHA test protocol, we have tested all the parameters, and it was found that when coal is used, what are the emissions parameters in all the parameters? There are about 16 parameters are there. Plastics from the emission level from whenever we are using some amount of plastics, that emission the toxicity level came down. So it is on the contrary, when plastics are used, the toxic level in the emission comes down. That's why Central Pollution Control Board has approved that in the 2000 in the year 2010. They have approved it, and all the 28 states of the country have been advised to introduce the system of co-processing in their plant. And coal is a material. Coal, if we can reduce the use of coal, then we are preserving our reserves. And the plastics, whatever plastics go for the co-processing, these are abundant plastics. Otherwise, it will be in the landfill. Alternatively, we reduce the plastic waste. So that is another reason. If we reduce the plastic waste, we see the greenhouse gas will go up. That I also slide I have shown. The alternative materials will use up more energy, will emit more greenhouse gas emissions, and will cause more solid waste. That is also another the other way it is bad. So
Okay.
because in this society we are living in the modern society, if we cannot go back to the era of the Samrat Ashok and all that, we have to live and we have to go use it. So we have to use more and more. And I made a comment, 3 billion in 1930 people came 8 billion. I remember in my childhood also, how was my village. I come from Eastern India. How village, that atmosphere will never come. But in the USA, the 5 times larger than Indian geography, but 5 times less in the population. So in the USA, you will find lot of vacant place and all that. So this environment is, but USA is the second largest polluter in the world after China. USA India. India, why? Because India population is higher. That also causes. See, these are the very big. India, we have not. Indian government has not accepted a lot of proposal by the UNEP for reducing the production of plastics, because we require the plastics for our development purpose. Well, our plastic consumption is 50% of the world average. And if we are not, if we have to reduce the resin production, then we have to import our the requirement, or we have to use the alternative material. So these are all correlated things. And the road also, some type of plastics waste can go for the road, and the road with a good result. The life of the road increases. That road, this picture is from the Bombay Dadar area. Okay. And pyrolysis is one of the technique. This has to be encouraged more and more, because these are the chemical recycling process. This is small, the capacity 5 ton to 10 tons per day. So these are smaller capacity plant, can be set up in the atmosphere of the urban area. And plastic, see, mechanical recycling of plastic is very much encouraged. But whenever we do the segregation, but if we do not segregate, then we land up in a problem. So those cases, the pyrolysis come into help. And another particular area, because I have 4 or 5 areas I have highlighted here, the steel production. The steel production, Japan is the leader in the world today. India has not yet started. Steel production, if the plastic waste can reduce the use of coke, because reducing agent in plastic waste has got hydrogen as a reducing agent, and apart from carbon. And in case of coke, only reducing agent is carbon. So the worldwide, the 1800 million ton of world steel production can have the has the capacity to use up 36 million ton of plastic waste and reduce use of coke. And I mean, use of coke means our mining operation will come down. That also is good for the environment. So these are the point. What can we do? That glimpse I have given. And this cement clean co-processing, it can take any waste taken up from the sea also. I mean, it doesn't have any all types of toxic material also can go in cement clean. In fact, cement clean is being used for that purpose also. So these are the avenues what we can do. That I shared my idea, but ultimately what is required, we have to segregate our waste. Apart from this, reduce, we have to reduce uses whenever possible. We should not use abundantly. We should reduce our production, and whenever we reduce, segregate the waste, not only plastic waste, all waste. So now we are showing only 2 bins, but in the currently in the BIS, we are already going for about 4 and 5 types of. This is required in the household. The household medical waste also has become a compulsory thing. So these are segregate our waste and arrange for recycling of these. So these are the I mean, suggestion. So with that, I end my presentation. So anything, Madam Lata, I have already deliberated with you. So similarly, in any other point, if required, we can discuss.
Oh, it's an eye opener, actually. Thank you very much, sir. In fact, I have got a lot of questions.
Yes, see this topic, as you know, in the UNEP the meetings, there is, I think, 5th meeting will be held. 5th meeting will be held, but they wanted an, world agreement for the many traits. But India has said yes, on waste management, India has already introduced EPR rule, which is mandatory, and resin manufacturers also is a part of it. So that is good attempt. And initially there were a lot of obstacles were there, but everybody, whoever are using plastics, they are mandatorily bound to see that whatever production they are making, they are assisting in recycling or recovery of that material. And that has to be, there will be some fictitious reporting also. That also will not be allowed. Mind that the largest recycler in India, I am not naming, were banned for a year for doing the head in reporting system. They were reporting wrong thing. So this reporting of how much plastic you have collected and how much has been recycled, that thing has to be reported. So government is doing pretty good approach, and industry also has understood that, and everybody is cooperating with that. But implementation has not yet been complete, especially urban places. And in the rural area, although there are people, they want such a thing to be done, but the facilities are less. But ICP also is involved in some Rajasthan rural area in setting up some MRF system, material recovery facilities system. So which is a preliminary for the segregation, not only plastic segregation, all dry waste, weight waste. So the waste, waste is a huge subject. 60 million ton of municipal solid waste is generated by India, and in 2009-10, about 6-7% was plastic waste. But now recently it was found that plastic waste has gone up to about 12%. From that particular figure of recycling of waste generation in India, plastic waste generation has been accounted termed as 7 million ton, 7 to 8 million ton.
Sir,
Okay.
I just wanted to know your comment on microplastic.
Yes, okay, fine. I have not covered that. Sorry. The microplastic. Before that, I will urge upon that that before microplastic, micro rubber should have been discussed earlier, because micro rubber has started tire, in the tire consumption is has started long back. The plastics, commercial plastic production, consumption started in the 1950s, but tire has started earlier also, and use of tire. And the generation of micro rubber is much more because of its uses pattern, because friction is more. So what happened in the whole earth, 29% is covered with the silicon. So this, the silicon part, depending upon their size, we term is at a micro or a normal level. So like that, whenever plastic also becomes usage, this also will become a powdery, and it will fly in the air. So this is a menace. Definitely, it should not go into the human body. But one particular thing, plastic is not a pathogen. So it is not, if it was a pathogen, it would have been, a dangerous thing. It is an inert material, but inert material of the smaller micron size should not go to our body. one of the particular source of microplastic is, we have attempted in BIS, we have attempted this particular exercise, the washing machines. Washing machines, we produce microfiber, because I'm terming it as microfiber. The polyester is there, cotton is there. So microfiber, all this microfiber are being dumped, go to the water stream. Through the river, it goes ultimately to the sea. So there has been a particular attempt will be now there to arrest the uh, uh, this the water discharge from the washing machines, to collect it, and definitely there will be a microfiber, and that microfiber should be treated. If we treat it, then we can make it into into soil system, like biodegradable and compostable plastics. Those also will be mixed along with the soil. Uh, these will not remain as plastic, or these will not remain as a cotton.
Okay.
The work has started in 1922. 2022, ISO has already started the standard, because whenever the standard number is 24187 2023, the analysis of microplastics, because some protocol is required. So ISO has already published this particular document in 2022, and within 1 year there has been an amendment. So it is now 2023. So this microplastic, how it should be analyzed, and if it is analyzed, then we have to find out a particular way to arrest, because that arresting from the washing machine, that has come to the notice of at least Indian diaspora. So we will some work will start.
Okay.
And long back, about more than 10 years back, we had already communicated to all the cosmetic manufacturing company, don't use microplastics for cosmetic purpose because there is a large use of microplastic for scrubbing purpose. Then we have appealed to that, and I think there is a ban now. The use of microplastics in the facial, toiletry, skin application creams. So that is a large use, but natural materials are far better in that particular application.
Okay. Any other question?
Yes, please. Okay. This is because biodegradable plastic. I am in favor of compostable plastic, because what happens, the testing protocol in case of biodegradable plastic, it requires 2 years time for establish giving a certificate. So 2 years time, and compared to that, the compostable plastic requires only 6 months time, 180 days. So this is one way. And biodegradable plastic concept is, it will be degraded by action of anything, by microbes or enzyme, many things. But during this time, if it is deprived of the environmental, the moisture and all that, and if it is and oxygen, then it may not go into biodegradation. It requires the proper environment for going into biodegradation. Whereas in the compostable plastic, this is already mandated for industrial composting. It has to be collected and it has to be taken into the industrial composting area, some amount of temperature is required and some amount of moisture is to be applied so that it will be composted. And the compostable plastic, but although the concept of biodegradable plastic in the world started in the year around 1970. So, it is not very far from the commercialization time of commercial plastic also, which was we consider as 19 after the Second World War. But during this time, the main drawback of biodegradable plastic is it lacks barrier property. If the barrier property is not, it's lacking, so it cannot be used for packaging application. So this is one of the particular drawback in case of biodegradable or compostable plastic. But there are applications where in the mulching application, nursery bag application. So those things which we want to get mixed to the soil in a shorter period. So there is an vast scope. Japan and China, they use a lot of biodegradable compostable plastics. But main thing, packaging application, because packaging consumes about 50% of all plastics packaging. So their barrier property, lack of barrier property is a problem. And but still there are some applications which can be used by compostable plastic. Total compared to you from the figure, you will see total consumption and production and consumption of conventional plastic is more than 400 million ton, and use of biodegradable plastic, compostable plastic has not yet reached a figure of 10 million ton. So because of this, because as in humanity, if cost is not a factor, okay, nowadays if the biodegradable and compostable plastic products are offered, the cost definitely will not be a factor. But the property, it has to protect the property of the material. That is, I mean, that is a requirement. Otherwise, if it is not keeping the property of the material intact, then the consumers will not like it. So not for any packaging which require for shelf-life sort of thing, some other products, compostable plastic now can be used. But biodegradable, as I said, I have some reservation. Compostable plastic should get encouragement. It has already got some encouragement. The production is rising. Acha, pyrolysis plant, I will tell you, ICP, we had installed one pyrolysis plant in New Delhi, New Motibag colony, way back in 2015, 14, 15. So at that time, a pilot plant we have set up. At that time, a pilot plant of 50 kg capacity, we purchased at about 15 lakh at that time. But now, this pilot plants are not available, and for being commercially viable, a pyrolysis plant has to process at least 3 tons per day. Then only it will be a self-sufficient. So 3 tons per day plant will be they are putting at a range of around 1 crore or so, little more than 1 crore. So from that, it has to be calculated, and the production is you have to take a thumb rule. 50 to 60% only you will get the LDO range oil, and some amount of the LPG gas range gas also will be there, and some filtrate. The carbon based can be again go for RDF production. That is not a waste material. एक minute sorry. So from that, I mean, about 1 to 1.25 crore will be the cost of the plant, 3 tons per day capacity, and production will be about 50 percent will be the LDO range oil, and it has got market. LDO range oil has got market. There is no problem. But the gas, if gas cannot be used by internally, yeah, putting it put into cylinder will be a costly affair for a smaller plants. But large scale wise, the pyrolysis, chemical recycling should have been deployed by the resin manufacturers, naphtha cracker plants. They should have used it. They have started this particular exercise some years back, but they have not yet done it on a commercial and regular basis. Had it been done, then perhaps we could have reached the complete circular economy scale. All the plastic waste, irrespective of their category and all that, could have gone to that cracker, and from that we could have made into the polymer again. But that is, I think, not happening. But pyrolysis is happening. India, we have around 25, according to our data, about 25 pyrolysis plants are operating. Capacity is about 3 tons per day to 10 tons per day. Yeah. Okay, okay. In that case, my BTech examination example I will give you. By visual, unless you are expert in experience in handling the material, it is very difficult for making a variation between a material nylon and polypropylene, and from LLDP and LDP. So these our waste pickers, when they are engaged in manual waste picking, they will be able to tell you properly, because they have to sell the product. The visual, because visual, it is possible by way of their sound, their fields and all that, one can identify. uh, Rigid product, it is easier for identification. Flexible product, nowadays what happens, there are a lot of multi-layer plastics also are available. So there one cannot predict what sort of multi-layer, I mean, materials are there. These are considered as MLP, and MLP with and non-plastic substrate, or without any non-plastic substrate. So category 2 or category 3, there are two types are there. Category 2 means mill packaging. This is also multi-layer, but it has got same LDP material in 2 or 3 layers. It gives some reduces the micropores. But there are other types, because whenever we use the any other material, nylon in oil packaging. On oil packaging, there is a nylon material, other material may be used. So that will come into category 3. So Tetra Pak, category 3. Category now we use paper as a to offer strength. and polyethylene also there. So by seeing or touching a product, identify the plastic will be difficult for the common users, but at least plastic should be identified. Plastic should be identified separately compared to other materials. If it is there, then that is okay. Plastic should not be mixed with other non-plastic products. When it goes to the as a plastic, all plastic material to the segregation place, then the expert, but nowadays sensor based techniques are there. It can identify, but therefore using sensor based system, we require little to handle a larger volume. In India, there are many places where sensor based systems are used, like in Indore they are using it. Not only in Hyderabad also, some not more, not much. Because whenever the volume has to be more, then only the such sensor-based system can be deployed, which can identify different types of the category of pipes, and on the belt itself they can segregate the different types of plastics. And once we get different types of plastic, we can take out, and it becomes easier for recycling, and the value of the recycled product also goes up. Okay.
ठीक है, गिनती करो कितने, गिनती करो कितने, हाँ 50 अलग करके रखो.
So if okay, so that is muted, I think. Her famous frozen now. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay. No, sorry. I had muted my mic and was talking.
Okay.
So we are starting a plastic waste collection. I just want to know what are the users and in the sense, throwers and like who generates waste and then give it for recycling. What they should bother before sending it sending it as a waste.
See, now in case of the municipal collection system is there. There in some places, some private bodies also have come into action for collecting. Say, for instance, if you talk about Pune, the expanded polystyrene, this thermocol collection system is very good in Pune. So, we are associated to that exercise also. So thermocol is, as you know, that it has got very good property of thermal thermal conduction. So that due to its high volume, earlier it was neglected, and municipal authority was facing problem in collecting and sending it for the segregation place, now number one, and to the recycler. But now the system has improved. The melting machines have been developed in many places, and collection. So there are municipality does it, but private bodies also are doing it. So these collection system has to abide by the norm of the municipality. The different plastic
that was not my question. My question was that when it is being collected, the people who are generating that waste, before sending it, what they should take care? Is it like, like cleaning or separating or something like that?
Okay. See, at home level, if cleaning is done, this is excellent. But we don't expect that. So home level, although I do rinse the empty milk pouch with water so that it does not have the residue of the liquid milk, because residue of liquid milk inside the bag will cause creation of fungus and all that within a few days, like it in a tropical country like India. But still, if it is all the plastics are put in one drum and all the wet waste, because plastic can be mixed with the other solid waste also, paper and all that, that is no problem. But no society perhaps will be doing only plastic in one
We
bucket.
do.
That is excellent. That excellent. Then you have to have three. Three. One for wet waste, one for
No,
plastic.
that is collected only monthly.
Like in say for where I stay, there they twice a week they collect the dry waste. But if you are using only plastic separately, then okay, that is a very good, well and good. But in as per municipal rule, solid waste management rule, municipal solid waste management rule, if you are segregating dry waste and wet waste, and now it has come the domestic medical waste, that also should not be mixed together. And electronic waste also should not be. Electronic waste in the societies wherever we are staying in society, we can keep a space separately so that monthly all the electronic waste can be accumulated and collected. And medical, house, home medical waste. So that also should not be mixed with the normal dry waste. So collect, from our part, the residency part, if we keep the plastic waste, either as you said, in your society, you are doing plastic waste separately, that is excellent. But even if it is mixed to the dry waste, then also it is okay. And municipality nowadays collects and take it to their segregation center, and in that segregation center they segregate the plastic waste separately and other types, paper, tin, and all that separately. So this segregation system is very important. I don't know. Yesterday in the TV, if you have seen Kasoli in Haryana, they were dumping all dry waste in the hilltop only, and they were putting sand over it to camouflage it. So this is not done. It was a very solo sort of affair. All the dry waste they were dumping in a hilltop, and so that it does not attract the attention of the authority, they were putting some sand on that, and by doing that it will not degrade, it will remain there for a long time. So whenever the dry waste have been generated, it has to be taken to the segregation place of the designated segregation place for designating, separating two different categories of plastics or different categories of waste.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
पेमेंट होने के बाद मिलेगा क्या?
Okay. Yes, definitely. Thank you.
कोई बात नहीं, कोई दिक्कत.
Thank you.
Thank you,
ये
sir.
बात कर रही है.